To the latest developments now on the unrest in Syria and the Middle East. President Obama insists Russia is making what he calls unforced errors in a superpower poker game over Syria and the Middle East. The president says Vladimir Putin is overplaying his already bad hand, while the U.S. stands pat, focusing on the president's leadership in areas such as climate change and the Iran nuclear deal. Eyewitness News analyst Lieutenant General Reginald Centracchio joins us now in studio. Russian President Vladimir Putin said his country's involvement in Syria is helping protect the world against ISIS. Your take on that?
His point of view, obviously. What it is doing is making sure that, in his opinion, Assad regime staying in place is protecting the world, because that keeps a handle on being able to focus on ISIS. That's not the case in this particular situation. What's happening is Russia is looking at backing those forces within Syria that want to maintain the Assad government. We, at the same time, are backing other forces that have a direct and opposite purpose of keeping a stability. In his mind, stability in Syria is protecting the world.
Well, he's claiming that the Syrian people are the leaders of that country. What's he talking about there?
Well, I don't know, but they're all leaving. And consequently, in our definition of democracy means that you put someone in a leadership position by the people, democracy. That's not the case here. What they're trying to do is sustain someone who is in power that's doing a lot of bad things, and the people themselves are leaving the country.
Well, Russia surprised the world 2 weeks ago when they launched their first airstrikes in Syria. Colonel Stephen Warren from the Pentagon General says those airstrikes were irresponsible and reckless. Why?
Rightly so. They were not targeting ISIS targets. They were targeting those positions that were obviously opponents of the Assad government, and consequently they had nothing to do with ISIS. And we are, in turn, are verifying that those positions that they targeted had nothing to do with fighting ISIS itself. Quickly,
General, we're sending 50 tons of ammunition this week to topple the Assad government. It's going to the rebels. How do you see that working out?
Once again, it's a revisitation of the proxy, war of proxy by Russia and the United States. We're supporting one faction, they're supporting the other, and I hope it never gets to the Cold War period that we suffered during the 50s, 60s, and so on.
The General has more on our website. You can go to WPRI.com.